Hello again, everyone. We are having this discussion for today because remember, we didn't have class because of the holiday, okay, the forced holiday that they've had. And for this session, we are going to discuss about um, integers. So, when you talk about integers, you have the set of negative and positive numbers. So the set of integers, and it's going to be represented by this number line. That's what I've told you before. This is a very good way to represent our number system, the number line. And for today, we're going to discuss operations of integers using this number line. Um, this is something that I would like you to think about, that if you start if you add integers, so we begin our operations with, of course, addition. Think of a magnet. Okay, the concept of a magnet, that opposite poles attract. I've mentioned about the word opposite, just like positive 5. The opposite of that is negative 5. And so these two would actually attract each other because they're opposite, and they will approach 0. And that's the first thing that we have to remember, or one of the properties of integers, that if we're adding opposites, the answer is 0. So if, for example, you have negative 5 plus 5, the answer is 0. If you have negative 2 plus 2, the answer is 0. This is actually based from the property of real numbers for addition, which is the inverse property. Or even if you say 5 plus negative 5, still the answer is 0, which is the identity element of addition. Or if you have 2 plus negative 2, our answer is still 0. I can do this, or these two equations here are just the same by virtue of the commutative property of addition. Alright, now moving on. What if we are adding, like for example, 7 plus negative 4? Now, how do I use the concept of the magnet, which says opposites attract? Well, 7 can be broken down as 3 plus 4, because it's still 7 by virtue of closure property. And if we add negative 4 to that, I can use the concept of opposites, which means that positive 4 here and negative 4 is just 0. So I have here positive 4 and negative 4, which is just 0, because they will approach this value. They will attract, which will now give me an answer of positive 3. Okay, now how do I show that on the number line? How do I show that on the number line? I have here positive 7 right here, and I'm going to add negative 4. Now, if you're adding, it's just like you're moving. So it's either you move to the right or you move to the left. But since this is negative, the negative sign tells you to move to the left. So from 7, we move 4 units to the left. That's 1, 2, 3, and 4. Which means that the answer, if I'm going to get my new direction, it's going to be positive 3. So, I presented to you two ways of adding integers. That is through the use of opposites, and that is through the use of the number line. So let's try one more example. What if, for example, I have negative 8 plus positive 2? what would be the answer. So let's try first the concept of opposites. Negative 8 is the same as negative 6 combined with negative 2 by closure property. If I add that to 2, this will be 0. So I am left with negative 6. Now, how do I show that on the number line? So negative 8 is right here. And I'm going to add positive 2, which means that I'm going to the right because I have positive number. So move 2 units and I'm here at negative 6. Okay, so this first situation that I've shown you is when I'm adding integers with opposite signs or different signs. And to do that, you can either use the opposite concept or you can use the number line. Now, the other one is the more easier one is of course when you adding integers with same signs, and it's very, very easy. So like if you have 4 plus 3, I don't even have to, show you the answer to this one. The answer is 7. We don't have to entertain the concept of opposites because we don't have any opposite sign here. So from 4, we move 3 units to the right. That's going to be 7. Now what about if you have negative 2 plus negative 4? What would be your answer? Again, you don't have to make any opposites here because they have the same sign. So from negative 2, you just move 4 units to the left. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So your answer is negative 6. Alright, so I hope that with this video you may have recalled already your concept of addition of integers. The next video will focus on subtraction of integers. So I hope that any questions that you have for this discussion will be settled when we have our class for tomorrow. So once again, thank you and goodbye.